Hi, so today I wanted to show you how to style this simple cravat style using a silk scarf. You can use most sizes really. I've used a 90 by 90 centimetre scarf. You can also use a larger one or a 70 by 70 centimetre scarf. I usually do this with a jumper or a shirt, and it's just quite a nice way to wear a scarf in a sort of less feminine way, so it's kind of like masculine feminine look, which I really like. So I'll show you how it goes. It's dead simple. I've used our Naughty Nymphs scarf, which I designed for Coco de Mer initially, but we also have on our website. There it is. And the thing about this is it's so easy. All you really do is fold the scarf in half across like that, just straight like that, and then just keep rolling it in on itself until you have a nice kind of strip. So you create the strip like that, put it round the neck, and just simply go like that and tuck it in. And you can experiment with different ways of doing this so that you can get different bits of the print that you like on here. So that's one of my favourite ways of styling a scarf. Just really easy, throw it on with a shirt or a jumper or anything really. And I kind of just like the slightly, I don't know, boyish Victorian vibe going on there. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was something really upsetting. Lots of things are upsetting. Sexism, the Daily Mail, Jeremy Clarkson speaking, ever. But not as upsetting as finding out that moths have eaten holes in a favourite scarf. Look at that. I wore this Liberty shawl to my wedding, and it's probably one of the most lovely and expensive things I've ever bought, and moths have ruined it, and that's very upsetting. So I'm going to talk to you about ways to prevent moths from doing that to your lovely scarves. What are these called? Lavender bags. These are a lovely idea, but they are completely useless. What you really need is your best friend, a sealed container, because the buggers can't get in here. Now, it's not actually the moths that you see in your flat or in your house that are nibbling away at your clothes. So if you see some moths on your beautiful scarf and they flutter away and there's no apparent damage, don't be fooled. It's not the moths, it's actually the little larvae inside the eggs, which are so tiny, they're invisible. So what the moth does, and this is just part of nature, and I love nature, but not moths. What the moth does is it lays its tiny little eggs in your clothes, so small that you won't even be able to see them. They're on sort of like little tiny silvery threads that are so tiny you won't see them. And then it flutters away. And then sometime later, weeks or months or whatever, these hatch and these little tiny larvae come out, and they're very hungry and they like nothing better than eating things like silk and cashmere. Silk and cashmere to a moth larva are like a roast dinner. They can't get enough of it. So you can guarantee that if you've got a really crappy high street scarf and a really beautiful one from Liberty's or Age of Reason or Silk and Favours or some lovely brand, they're going to eat the nice one because they've got quite a lot of taste. So what I suggest is getting yourself a sealed box to keep your scarves in. Now, if you catch moths at it, eating, sort of laying the eggs in your scarves, or you think that moths have been anywhere near your scarves, you can introduce emergency measures. All you're going to need is a freezer and a normal plastic bag. So yesterday, after I showed you the feather shawl, I went out of the room and I came back and a moth had fluttered around my lovely shawl. So what I did was I popped it into this carrier bag, just a normal carrier bag, and tied it up, and I put it in the freezer overnight. Now, I'm not insane. The freezer actually kills the moth eggs, the moth larvae. So if a moth has laid eggs on your stuff, or you think it has, pop it in a bag, freeze it overnight, and that will completely kill the eggs. I was so paranoid that I actually freezer bagged loads of my stuff that had been lying around yesterday, because I was really concerned, because I didn't want this to happen again. So first port of call is the sealed box. You can get stuff like this from a website called mothprevention.com or something. Hang some of those in your wardrobe. It deters the moths. Keep your wardrobes shut. Keep your stuff in plastic boxes. Springtime is the season of the moth, and they want to lay their eggs on your beautiful things.